Michael Vaughan has denied condoning abuse towards Australia's Wags in a row with the irate wife of David Warner, who has faced torment from the stands about her sex life. The former England captain said he was amused the Aussies complained about abuse from South African crowds and suggested their players' own behaviour inflamed tensions during the four-test series. Candace Warner called him out on it today and said, "I'm glad it's making you laugh." So you would approve of the same treatment to your wife? The Australian tour of South Africa has been marred by verbal abuse on and off the field, including several altercations involving David Warner, who has now been forced to quit as vice-captain over ball tampering. South African fans have also been chanting about his wife Candace's 2004 tryst in a Sydney pub toilet with New Zealand rugby player Sonny Bill Williams, which took place before she was in a relationship with David. Some supporters even donned Sonny Bill masks at matches, and Warner had an amazing off-field bust-up with South Africa's wicket-keeper Quinton de Kock after he allegedly brought up his wife's past. Vaughan tweeted, "It's making me chuckle. The Aussies are making an official complaint about the personal abuse they are receiving." The message sparked a furious response from Warner's wife Candace. She responded, "I'm glad it's making you laugh," adding, "So you would approve of the same treatment to your wife?" Vaughan hit back, suggesting that the behaviour of the Australian cricket team, including her husband, had caused some of the problems. Denying he condoned abuse towards Wags, he wrote, "Absolutely not. But off-field anger in my experience starts with on-field behavior by players. So maybe you need to look closer to home as to why." Mrs. Warner then retweeted a comment on the spat calling him a idiot, advocating abuse towards players' wives, sick. Mrs. Warner has been married to her cricketer husband for 3 years. In 2007, Candace and rugby star Sonny Bill Williams were filmed on a mobile phone having sex in a men's toilet cubicle at the Clovelly Hotel in Sydney's eastern suburbs. On this Australian cricket tour, South African player Quinton de Kock was fined for allegedly provoking Warner with a sledge regarding Williams and his wife, while South African fans wore masks featuring Williams' face in an attempt to further humiliate Warner. David Warner's tour of South Africa has been marred by bad behaviour. Steve Smith and his vice-captain Warner stepped down from their roles this weekend after they were outed as architects of a plot to ball tamper. TV cameras caught teammate Cameron Bancroft, 25, trying to alter the condition of the ball with a piece of tape covered in dirt. Last Friday, Warner rode with a spectator clapped him off after being dismissed and said, "Goodbye, sweetheart." Footage of the row shows Warner spin around to have words with the rival fan. Weeks earlier, Warner had an amazing off-field bust-up with South Africa's Quinton de Kock. Warner claimed de Kock called his wife Candace names. He then responded by allegedly calling him "F-king sook," "crybaby," and a bush pig. CCTV footage from the players' tunnel showed Warner and de Kock involved in a fiery exchange during the tea break on the fourth day of the first test in Durban. The video shows Warner being restrained by teammates Usman Khawaja and Nathan Lyon as he directs a verbal barrage at de Kock. South Africa captain F du Plessis then emerges from the dressing room to try to calm the situation, followed by Australia captain Steve Smith and other Australian players. Both men were given fines and written warnings about future conduct. Steve Smith accused de Kock of starting the row by making a personal remark about Warner's wife Candace. "Those sorts of things are not on from both sides," Smith said. "Getting personal is not on. We were very chirpy in the field as well, but as far as I know, we didn't get personal with Quinton." What he said got a bit personal towards Davey and it provoked an emotional response. Du Plessis said, "If you chirp each other, it's always on the field. There need to be boundaries, it needs to stay on the field." Warner had already directed a verbal volley at Hayden Markram after the Proteas opener took the blame for the running out of de Villiers. Former South Africa captain Graham Smith criticised Warner as a bit of a fool, but Markram, who went on to score 143, played down the sledging. Despite the bust-up and the bitter feel to the series, there was no sign the sledging will calm down. "That's how we play our best cricket," Smith said. "We're aggressive. We're hunting as a pack.